Hey everybody, it's Blast338 coming at you with another Phasmophobia live stream. Well, actually, we're not doing Phasmo tonight. I had some unforeseen computer problems. And unfortunately, I lost a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get back on my feet. In fact, I don't even know how long this stream is honestly going to last, or even why OBS is stuck on just the title screen for Phasmo, because that definitely shouldn't be happening right now. That is very weird. Very, very weird. So I don't know what the heck is going on there. But anyways, CB, what's going on, man? How am I doing? You know what? I can't lie to you guys. I've been better. Like, I've just been a nervous nightmare today with my computer crashing and just I don't know what the heck is going on. Like, everything is, dude, a 14.5 multiplier, and you got the ghost in prison. You are a god. I will say that. But anyways, tonight we are talking about Phasmophobia. Or not Phasmophobia. We're talking about creatures of 5e. Right? We are talking about things that go bump in the night. That do all that kind of fun stuff. And what's going on here? This should not be happening. Wow. Anyways, so we left off with Orcus last Monday.
Yes, we did.
And it's a very powerful guy. Yeah, no worries, man. Welcome to Come and Go. I'm just trying to figure out why in the heck the stream seems to be stuck where it is. I'm going to see if I can change. So, all right, what? You guys are probably tired of hearing me say so. Anyways, go ahead and start us off, Mr. Faust. I'm going to do a little troubleshooting here while I'm listening to you.
Absolutely. So lately I've been on a real aberrations kick.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this because the campaign that we're currently playing, our Spelljammer campaign, is going to be absolutely fraught with aberrations. With the return of a great old one, the stars themselves are going to scream in terror. And from those distant stars, those far-plane galaxies, come horrible creatures, twisted and nightmarish, and that's what the aberrations are. So they're going to play a big part in the campaign that we have coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get started on this one called a Morkoth.
Okay.
Really cool creature. It's only a challenge rating 11. It doesn't have legendary actions, but it's got a lot of lore. that
Okay.
I'd like to talk about, and this is definitely a creature I intend on using, so
Mm-hmm.
don't spoil this.
No.
Okay, Morkoth. Ancient and devious, Morkoths are voracious collectors. Each one floats through the plains on a strange, mobile island, amassing the valuables, oddities, and cast-offs of the multiverse in a massive, ever-growing collection. The first Morkoths arose in the astral plane when the petrified body of a deity of greed and strife collided with the remnants of celestial matter imbued with life-giving magic.
Welcome back.
The collision released a storm of chaotic energy and sent countless islands spinning away into the void. Within some of them, bits of the gods' petrified flesh came back to life as Morkoths, tentacled monstrosities brimming with malice and greed. Morkoths are driven by greed and selfishness mixed with a yearning for conflict. They hoard vast stores of treasure, knowledge, and captives on their islands. Some of these prisoners are the descendants of people captured generations before. They might not know of any other world outside their island.
Interesting.
Yes, they're incredibly interesting. A Morkoth may allow a visitor to bargain for something or someone it has claimed if that visitor offers the Morkoth something it desires more. It shows no mercy, however, to those who break a deal or try to steal from it. A Morkoth knows every person and object in its collection.
Okay.
A Morkoth's island has the qualities of a dreamscape. It holds a jumble of objects and creatures the Morkoth has collected, some of which date from forgotten times. An island might have natural-looking illumination, but most are shrouded in twilight, and on any of them, mists and shadows can appear without notice. The environment is warm and wet, a subtropical or tropical climate that keeps the Morkoth and its guests comfortable. Each island glides on planar currents and is safe from most harmful external effects. One could float in the skies of Avernus in the Nine Hells without harm to it or its residents. A Morkoth's island might be found anywhere from the bottom of an ocean to the void of an astral plane. Anything on or within a certain distance of the Morkoth's Isle is drawn with it in its journey through the plains. Thus, people from lost civilizations and creatures or objects from bygone ages might be found within a Morkoth's dominions. So they're pretty interesting creatures. And I like the idea of finding a floating island that is idyllic, beautiful. You have waterfalls, you have illuminated rainbows. You have this modest cycle of like twilight and like early morning.
Okay.
That seem to alternate back and forth. Like, there's a lot you can do with this visually, and make it really interesting with terrain for combat as well.
Okay.
So, what's cool about the Morkoth, for only being a CR11, is it does have a lair, so it has lair actions.
Okay.
So, on initiative count 20, the Morkoth can take one of the following lair actions. The Morkoth uses Darkness, Dispel Magic, or Misty Step, using Intelligence as its spellcasting ability and without expending a spell slot.
Okay.
It has the Hypnotize ability. The Morkoth uses its Hypnosis action, originating at a point within 120 feet of itself. It doesn't need to see the effect's point of origin.
Oh.
And the island itself has regional effects, such as altering water. The Morkoth can initiate a change in the water within its lair that takes effect in 1 minute. So the water can become breathable and as clear as air, or it becomes muddy and murky to see through. And that's any water within the entirety of this island.
Oh, okay.
Locate creatures and objects. The Morkoth is aware of any new arrival, whether an object or a creature, on its island or in its sanctum. As an action, the Morkoth can locate any one creature or object on the island. Visitors to the island feel as though they are being watched, even when they aren't.
So kind of like almost like the Beholder ability.
Yes, and visually they resemble beholders.
Okay.
They just have tentacles.
Oh.
And instead of numerous eyes, they have mouths.
Oh, okay.
So a little more terrifying than a beholder.
Mm-hmm.
So, lost possessions. This is just cool. Each time a creature that has been on the island for less than a year finishes a short or long rest, it must make a DC 10 intelligence saving throw. On a failure, the creature has misplaced one possession. The possession remains nearby but concealed for a short time, so it can be recovered with a successful perception check. An object that is misplaced but not recovered ends up in the Morkoth lair 1 hour later.
Oh.
So, let's get into the creature's stats.
Right.
Like I said, this is a CR11 creature, so
Okay.
not too high, but not too low either.
Okay.
They have an armor class of 17, 200 hit points.
Mm.
Their speed is 25 feet, and their swim speed is 50 feet.
Oh, okay.
For strength, they have a 14. For dex, they have a 14. For con, they have a 14.
Okay.
For intelligence, they have a 20. Wisdom, they have a 15, and charisma, they have a 13. So these are incredibly intelligent creatures that you're dealing with.
Sounds like it.
They have 3 proficient saving throws, dex, intelligence, and wisdom.
Okay.
Their skills are arcana, history, perception, and stealth.
Oh, wow. So they actually have skills.
Yes. They have true sight out to 30 feet, dark vision out to 120 feet, and a passive perception of 20.
Wow. Good luck sneaking around that thing.
I know, right? And their language is telepathy out to 120 feet with any creature that has a language.
Oh, that's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Even for a role-playing aspect, that would be a lot of fun for, like a DM or something. Because if somebody in the group speaks a relatively, exactly, a rare language, you can use that, and yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, especially from a role-playing standpoint. They are amphibious creatures, so they can breathe air and water.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting into their actions.
Okay.
So they have multi-attack, which means they can make 2 bite attacks and a tentacle attack, or 3 bite attacks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So their bite is single target, 2d6 plus 2 slashing damage, plus 3d6 psychic. My guess is because of the horror of the creature.
Right.
That's why you're taking the psychic damage.
Yeah, it's psychological
because
damage.
it kind of, overwhelms the psyche. Tentacles. They have a reach of 15 feet. Single target. They do 3d8 plus 2 bludgeoning damage. And then the target is grappled if it's larger or smaller.
Interesting.
Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained and takes 3d8 plus 2 bludgeoning damage at the start of each of its turns. And the Morkoth can't use its tentacles on another target.
Okay.
So they have spellcasting. The spell save DC is 17. They have detect magic.
Not shabby.
17 is not high.
It's not ultra high, but what was the CR on this creature again?
It's an 11, so it's relevant.
Okay, you're up there, but you're not really. Yeah, I guess what, 11. So they've gotten 2 ability scores increase, and you're at what, what's your proficiency? Your proficiency is what, like a 3 at that level? So 5,
Level
6...
11, I believe it goes up to 4.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, an average player is going to have pretty much the same DC at that point.
Right.
Just a little bit of math off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, because if you have a +5 for your spellcasting modifier, plus the 4, that's going to give you a 9, and then you add 8 to that, so that's a 17.
Right.
So yeah, it's not terribly high. It's not really hard to whatchamacallit, to not too hard to beat, but not too shabby either.
No. So at will, they have Detect Magic and Mage Hand.
Okay.
Both great spells.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we've talked about both of those in length.
Yep. And 3 times per day each, they can cast Darkness, Dimension Door, Dispel Magic, Lightning Bolt, and Sending.
Darkness, Dimension Door, Lightning, and Sending.
And Dispel Magic.
And Dispel Magic. So one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah. And their last action ability is called Hypnosis.
Okay.
The Morkoth projects a 30-foot cone of magical energy. Each creature in that area must make a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is charmed by the Morkoth for 1 minute. While charmed in this way, the target tries to get as close to the Morkoth as possible, using its actions to dash until it's within 5 feet.
Okay.
A charmed target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, and whenever it takes damage, ending the effect on itself on a success. If the creature's saving throw is successful or the effect ends for it, the creature has advantage on saving throws against it for 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
And they have one reaction that is called Spell Reflection.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. If the Morkoth makes a successful saving throw against a spell, or a spell attack misses, the Morkoth can choose another creature, including the spellcaster, it can see within 120 feet of it. The spell targets the chosen creature instead of the Morkoth. Eldritch Blast would be a hell of a spell to reflect.
Yeah. Yeah, so would Guiding Bolt.
Oh, shit.
Now, is it a spell that has to be...
An attack.
Okay, so things like Fireball, things where you gotta make a save would be out.
Right.
So, but yeah, Guiding Bolt, now you have advantage on... you have advantage on the attack when you get to attack the person who cast the spell. About to say, send back a banishment spell, but that's not technically an attack.
No, it's not. It's a save.
Could you technically send back a smite?
Holy shit. I'm about to look it up.
Because, I mean, I guess technically you're not rolling an attack for the smite. You're rolling an attack for the weapon. And you just happen to put the smite on the weapon.
Yeah.
So I guess, technically speaking, no. If we truly think about it. But there could be an argument for it as well.
trying to see if there's a general curiosity. So, if a paladin uses a smite spell,
Mm-hmm.
that would be reflected back.
Like branding smite.
Like branding smite or blinding smite.
Banishing smite.
Yeah, thought about that one too. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. That would be something. Holy smokes.
No.
The paladin banishes himself.
It's hilarious.
But at the same time,
Unfortunately,
though,
we don't have it. What's that?
at the same time, though, wouldn't... Well, who would maintain concentration then? It would have to be the paladin, right?
Yeah.
So he could just end his concentration on his own spell.
Only during his action.
Oh.
Or his turn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, Paladin would be banished. I mean, he'd be back the next round.
Yeah. Well, that could definitely be fun.
Yeah, it's a shame we don't have any paladins in our,
We do.
Do we?
Yeah.
Who's playing a paladin?
I just took a level in paladin.
Oh, you did.
Yes.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
What does that give you at first level? It gives you plate armor. It gives you divine smite.
Lay on hands.
Lay on hand. There it is.
Yeah, that's mostly for the healing aspect is why I did it.
Yeah, no,
It's
that
just-
was a good call.
The encounter that we had on Friday gave me enough justification to say, well, I'm gonna take a level of paladin.
Yeah, it's like when I spent the feat on Speak with Animals.
Right. Alrighty. Anything else with these? What creature was that again?
Morkov.
Morkov. Okay.
Nah, nothing else with them. I really like the flavor.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. I mean, it's an intelligent enemy. It's got some great abilities. It's got some pretty good skills. It's got a layer action. I mean, all in all, that's a really...
It's well-rounded.
Yeah. I mean, 11... What you said, an 11 CR, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad.
No, I kind of wish they went into that kind of detail for all the monsters.
Well, hopefully with the new with the new book and stuff coming out, I guess it's already out. We should hopefully start seeing more of that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Alrighty. Well, I wanted to talk about some of the lower level monsters, the stuff that people are more likely to run into. You know, one of my personal favorites is the giant spider.
Oh, I've got a TikTok I have to show you.
It's yeah, I mean, it's a nice little creature. It's a CR1, so it's nothing massively dangerous by itself. But again, these things don't come at you one at a time. You're going to throw 3 to 4 of these at the party at a time. And again, it depends upon the level of your party as well. I've used it in the past with Little Pooper, and it's nice. They're nothing major. They have a AC of 14. They have 4d10 plus 4 hit points, or 26 if you don't want to roll. They have a 30-foot speed, 30-foot climb. Obviously, it's spider climb, so they can climb across ceilings, they can climb up walls, and it ignores, any rough terrain, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, great advantage to them.
Right, exactly. I mean, their stats are nothing to sneeze at. They have a 14 for strength, which gives them a +2, +6, or +3 for dex. They actually have a +1 for constitution. Now, their intelligence is a -4 because it's only a 2. And their charisma is a 4, so that's a -3. And their wisdom is actually a +0 because it's an 11. They have a +7 to stealth. One cool thing they do have is their web sense. And it knows the location of any creature in contact with its web. So as long as it's touching its web and you are, it knows exactly where you're at. And it does ignore any restrictions caused by webbing. They have a pretty decent attack. I mean, their bite is a melee attack. It's +5 to hit, 5-foot reach. Of course, it's one creature. It's 1d8 plus 3 piercing damage. So, it's a CR1 creature. However, you need to make a DC 11 Constitution save, or you're going to take an additional 2d8 of poison damage. And it's still half as much on a success. Now, if the poison reduces you to 0 hit points, the target is stable but poisoned for 1 hour, even after it regains hit points and is paralyzed while it's poisoned in this way. So, you take a player character down using one of these guys with a bite, they fall to 0 because of the bite or the poison damage. Even if you bring them back up onto their feet, they're paralyzed for an hour. If they fail that saving throw. Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure that Lesser Restoration is going to get rid of that, because that gets rid of conditions. But that's a nice little thing there. But what I really like them for, and this is one of the things that makes druids, especially Circle of the Moon druids, where you can turn into a CR1 creature at 3rd level. You can turn into one of these. And they have a web attack. It's a ranged attack. It recharges on a 5 or 6. So you roll a d6, and if you roll a 5 or a 6 on that dice, you get that attack back. It's a ranged weapon attack, +5 to hit. It has a range of 30 up to regular. You can go out to 60 with disadvantage. So a 60-foot range at disadvantage, not a big deal. Especially with a +5 to attack.
Yep.
The target is restrained by the webbing. As an action, the restrained target can make a DC 12 strength check, bursting the webbing on a success. The webbing can also be attacked and destroyed. AC 10, has 5 hit points, and has vulnerable to damage. It's immune to bludgeoning, poison, and psychic damage. I don't know why they had to put that in there, but I guess okay. But yeah, I mean, this is what we've talked about, the action economy. You're taking something out of combat. You're taking that player character out of that combat for that round. They're using their action to rip themselves from the webbing.
Yep.
It's not to do any damage to them. It's just basically, I need you to stop beating on me for one round so I can go after these other people. And this is where the whole they work in pairs or they work in groups comes in play. Because one will web and the other can bite. And yeah, you're restrained. So you can't really do much while you're being restrained. But yeah, no, it's a lower level CR creature. They're very fun, and nobody likes spiders. So it's one of those things, use it against your players at your own will. But I like them, and especially if you're a Circle of the Moon druid, use the giant. I mean, I don't know how much of the new D&D you're going to be playing, but yeah, definitely use the giant spider. It's a great little creature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys have gotten a lot of use out of that with your druids.
And it works. It's just one of those things where it just work. I don't know how else to explain it. Just taking somebody out of combat there is huge sometimes, especially as a player character and you're trying to take the bad guy out. I mean, they have to use their action to remove themselves from the webbing.
Yeah.
That's, as far as I'm concerned, that's just as good as a hold person or a grapple or anything of that nature. But, here we go. Alrighty, so what is your next creature?
Alright, so this isn't an aberration, but the way it operates, I'm going to utilize it.
Okay.
It's a CR12 creature. It's called an Oinoloth. Oinoloths are, well, it works like this. Devils are lawful evil.
Mm-hmm.
Demons are chaotic evil. Oinoloths are the very rare neutral evil.
Okay.
So, grim specters of death, Oinoloths bring pestilence wherever they go. When armies recognize their awful forms, their mere appearance causes soldiers to break rank and flee, lest they succumb to one of the awful plagues that Oinoloths let loose. Oinoloths solve thorny problems by killing everyone involved. They are typically hired as a last resort when a siege has gone on too long or an army has proven too strong to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Once summoned, Oinoloths stalk the killing field, poisoning the ground and sickening creatures they encounter. Sometimes they might be hired to lift the very plagues they spread, but the price for such work is high, and the efforts turn the creatures they save into debilitated wrecks. So an Oinoloth is a CR12 creature. It has an armor class of 17, 159 hit points,
Wow.
and a speed of 40 feet.
What's the CR on this creature?
12.
12. Okay.
So its strength is 19, its dex is 17, its con is 18, its intelligence is 18, its wisdom is 16, and its charisma is 19. So pretty high stats all across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Their saving throw proficiencies are Constitution and Wisdom. They have Deception, Intimidation, and Perception as skills. I love when the monsters have skills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are their resistances. Cold, fire, lightning, and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks.
Okay.
Their immunities are acid and poison.
Okay.
And their condition immunities are poisoned.
Well, yeah.
They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean, when you're immune to something, you generally can't be,
afflicted by it.
Right. Although it sucks, you can't get drunk then.
No, you can't.
But, oh well. Such is life.
Indeed. So they have blind sight out to 60 feet and
Mm-hmm.
dark vision out to 60 feet.
Oh, blind sight out to 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, so your darkness spells, your invisibility, all that kind of fun stuff are going to have no effect on it.
Exactly.
Unless you're a range attacker.
Yeah, very true.
Interesting. Okay.
So for languages, it's abyssal, infernal, and telepathy out to 60 feet.
Mm.
They have magical resistance, which means they have advantage on saving throws against spells and magical effects.
Okay.
And these are their actions.
Hmm.
One of them is so unique, it blew my mind. It makes 2 claw attacks, and it uses either spellcasting or teleport. So whenever it attacks, it can also teleport.
Oh.
It has 2 claw attacks. It's a +8 to hit, 5-foot reach, single target, and it does 3d6 +4 slashing damage plus 4d10 necrotic damage. It has its teleportation, which is a range up to 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And this is its spellcasting. The spell save DC is 17.
Okay, so we're starting to get up there a little bit.
Yes. So at will, darkness, detect magic, dispel magic, hold monster, and invisibility.
Okay. Wait, what?
And then once, what's that?
You said what? What invisibility?
Hold monster
Hold monster.
at will.
Oh, at will.
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, you know what? If you think about it, it's sort of no, go away. If you think about it, you get the what the heck? What's that new race? Um, the plasmoid. That's not a creature, so that would work on him.
Yes.
Wow.
But yeah,
Okay.
hold person doesn't work because he's a news.
Right. Right. Wow. Okay.
So once per day, it can cast Globe of Invulnerability
Mm-hmm.
and Feeble Mind.
Feeble mind.
Yes.
Ugh. Talk about a broken spell.
Oh yeah, it is. You have one more action.
Okay.
Corrupted Healing. The Oinoloth touches one creature within 5 feet of it. The target regains all its hit points. In addition, the Oinoloth can end one disease on the target or remove one of the following conditions from it: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. The target then gains 1 level of exhaustion, and its hit point maximum is reduced by 2d6.
Hmm.
This reduction can be removed only by a wish spell or by casting Greater Restoration on the target 3 times within the same hour.
Okay.
And obviously the target dies if its hit point maximum is reduced to 0.
Hmm.
So it can heal you to full, but it reduces your hit point maximum and gives you a level of exhaustion.
Interesting.
And then they can do it again. So they'll keep you at full hit points until you die
Right. 'Cause
from
they just keep...
exhaustion.
Exactly. That is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it's an interesting ability. I've never seen anything like it before. And they have one bonus action.
Oh,
This recharges on a 5 or a 6.
okay.
The Oinoloth blights the area in a 30-foot radius sphere centered on itself. The blight lasts for 24 hours. While the area is blighted, all normal plants there wither and die. Furthermore, when a creature moves into the blighted area or starts its turn there, that creature must make a DC 17 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 46 poison damage and is poisoned. On a successful save, the creature is immune to the Oinoloth's Bringer of Plagues for the next 24 hours. The poisoned creature can't regain hit points. After every 24 hours that elapse, the poisoned creature can repeat the saving throw. On a failed save, the creature's hit point maximum is reduced by 1d10. This reduction lasts until the poison ends, and the target dies if its hit point maximum is reduced to 0. The poison ends after the creature successfully saves against it 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely debilitating.
Definitely not something you just want to rush into, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. No, this is one of those instances where you have to really research the creature before you fight it.
That is just crazy. Alrighty, anything else for that?
No, that was pretty much it. Just another one of those creatures I was really excited about.
Yeah, it's sounds like it would definitely be a challenge and very interesting to fight.
Oh, absolutely. Especially teleporting after every time it hits you.
Yeah, that would make things difficult. It's where a higher level party, something like, what is that? Force cage or something like that would come in handy.
Oh my god, yes. No saving throw whatsoever.
Yep. Alright. Well, I want to talk about a little creature. And they range from anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 CR. And I think that's all the information you need to kind of guess what I'm going to be talking about.
Go for it.
My love of the Mephit goes...
There it is.
Goes very deep. I love these little creatures. I really do. If you could have... They're neutral evil. Okay. So they're mischievous. You know, they want to cause a little bit of chaos. They're not really out to like kill anybody or really hurt somebody for the fun of it. But like they'll definitely give you a hot foot.
Fuck you up.
You know, they're for a 1/4 or 1/2 CR creature. They're honestly nothing to really mess with when you start dealing with multiples of them. And I think we talked a little bit about them when we talked about the summoning spells and things of that nature. Because really, dependent upon your party, if you had a party of 4 people that were spellcasters and they each had Summon Minor Elemental, and they cast this at the lowest rating, you could summon, each of them could summon 8 1/4 CR Mephits.
Right.
And just to give you an idea, so your 1/4 CR Mephits would be, where are you? I had a chart, it disappeared.
Are you looking for the different types?
Oh, I have a list of all the different types. I just
Mud Mephit, Steam Mephit.
Yeah,
Steam Mephits are cool.
You have Dust Mephits, which are really nice, which are really cool. Ice, Magma, Mud, Smoke, Steam, Magma. What is going on here? But yeah, these things, and apparently they've been in 3rd edition, 2nd edition, all that kind of stuff as well. Here we go. So yeah, Dust, Ice, Magma, Mud, Smoke, Steam. The Dust, Ice, and Magma are all CR 1/2. The Mud, Smoke, and Steam are CR 1/4. Now, their claw attack or their melee attack really isn't anything devastating. You know, it's a 1/4 CR creature. Where they excel is their breath attack. They get also, a lot of them get false appearance. So you have Ice Mephits, Magma Mephits, Mud Mephits, all have what's called false appearance. So if you're in an icy trail or in an icy cave and one of these is laying still in the corner somewhere, it doesn't matter how well you roll a perception check. You can't see them as long as they hold still. They all are doing generally a 15-foot cone, and it's either a DC 10 or 11 dexterity save. Okay. Now, some of them actually do have innate spellcasting. But let's go over the breath attacks first. So your Dust Mephit, if you fail your save, you're blinded. Ice Mephits, it's 2d4 cold damage. Magmas are 2d6 fire damage. So, not too bad. Mud Mephits, you're restrained until you break out of their DC. Smoke Mephits will blind you, and Steam Mephits are 1d8 fire. They also have innate spellcasting. Dust Mephits can cast Sleep. Ice Mephits can cast Fog Cloud. Magma Mephits can cast Heat Metal. Mud Mephits don't have any innate spellcasting, which is kind of weird. Smoke Mephits can cast Dancing Lights. And Steam Mephits can cast Blur. Now, they don't have a ton of hit points. They're anywhere from, looks like 17 to 27, generally about the 20s. So low to mid 20s. But they have a Death Burst. And this is how I like to use them. I like to use them as little mini hand grenades. So you need to do this. It's the same DC as the breath weapon. And again, that's going to vary based on what type of Mephit that you're using. And it does the same thing pretty much as their breath weapon. So your Dust Mephit, you're going to be blinded. Although your Ice Mephit is going to do 1d8 slashing damage. And your Smoke Mephit it's just going to be a heavily obscured area. But these little guys are just absolutely great. And if you really start stacking these things on, you can cause a lot of problems. In fact, because these guys are so low in CR, these are wonderful little creatures to use at your low level encounters. Something the group needs to make it somewhere. And to do that, they need to go through, say a bog, and they run into a bunch of mud methods. Well, now all of a sudden, you're making a dozen dexterity saves trying to get unrestrained from their breath weapon, and when you do hit one, you just get restrained by it anyways. So you're slowing the party down. I know with what the heck, Curse of Strahd. The one part of the adventure takes place in the mountains, the snow frost covered mountains. A perfect little spot for a bunch of ice methods.
Yep.
Steam methods could be pretty much anywhere. Same thing with smoke. Just great little creatures. They're not going to do a ton of damage to the party, unless you really throw a lot of them at the party. But it's something you can have fun with. They're going to have a lot of fun fighting. And, if you just want a quick, easy encounter, you've had a heavy, what's the word I want to use? A heavy roleplay session, and you do want to get a little bit of combat in. A few of these is just fun, especially when somebody fails that. We're talking, let's see here. I have mud methods pulled up here, just to give an example here. It's a DC 11 dexterity saving throw, or you're restrained.
Here's the thing, though. You can surround someone with 8 of them at a time.
Right. When they do finally fail that thing, but even
they will.
Right, and but I'm thinking, you have a party of 4 or 5 people. Let's say you do throw like 8 methods at them. All 8 are not going to gang up on one player. You're gonna split them up. Generally, 2 per person. I guess one lucky person's going to get 3. 2, 4. No, that's 8. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 4 people. Derp. Learn how to math blast. D&D math. Learn it. Love it. Need it. But anyways, yeah. I mean, again, it's such a low DC that when they do fail it, well, you know who's going to fail it. It's going to be your paladin who's wearing heavy plate. It's going to be your barbarian who didn't put anything into dexterity. It's going to be, well, definitely not the rogue. Yeah, it's, and you're just restrained. You just can't move.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, their fists are 1d6 bludgeoning damage, 1d6 plus 1. So like, they don't do a ton of damage. They're more or less a nuisance than anything. But I love them so dearly. I really do. They are just the best little thing, and because of that death burst, they just it's the cherry on top of the ice cream. You've caused so much havoc with these methods in the combat because there's 8 of them. There's 8 of them. You're sicking 8 of them on a bad guy if you're using them as a player character. How do you not?
Yep.
How do you not, as an intelligent creature, swat away these little itty bitty flying creatures? You
They're
can't.
nuisances.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, I can gush all night about methods. Let's go ahead and move on.
Sounds good. So, you want me to take this next one?
Go for it.
All right, cool. The creature that I'm going to be talking about is a Cybriax.
A Cybriax.
Cybriax, yes.
Okay.
They roam the multiverse on their own, just kind of hovering through planar space. But generally speaking, evil creatures try and tie them down, chain them down to the ground, and utilize them for their stores of knowledge. So, Cybriax. It's a huge creature, typically chaotic evil. It has an armor class of 19, 192 hit points, a speed of 0, and a fly speed of 20 feet. So it doesn't get around very well. Strength is 10, dexterity is 3, constitution is 23, intelligence is 25, wisdom is 24, and charisma is 25.
Okay.
They have an armor class of 19. Oh, I already went through that.
Yep.
Saving throws that they're proficient in: intelligence and charisma.
Okay.
For skills, they have Arcana, History, and Perception.
Mm-hmm.
They're resistant to cold, fire, lightning, and non-magical attacks.
Huh.
And they are immune to poison.
Okay.
For senses, it has true sight out to 120 feet, with a passive perception of 23.
Wow. Okay, so it's gonna see you coming.
Mm-hmm. It speaks all languages and has telepathy out to 120 feet.
Alrighty.
Challenge rating is an 18.
Wow. Okay, that was my next question.
So, these are abilities that they just have. These are not actions to start, it's just extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they have magic resistance. We've talked about this, advantage on saving throws against spells. They have legendary resistance 3 times a day. If it fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed instead. And it has an ability called Contamination. The Cybriax emits an aura of corruption 30 feet in every direction. Vegetation withers in the aura, and the ground in the aura is difficult terrain for other creatures. Any creature that starts its turn in the aura must succeed on a DC 21 Constitution saving throw, or take 4d6 poison damage. A creature that succeeds on the save is immune to it for 24 hours.
Okay, well that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, permanent 30-foot aura.
And if you don't pass the what save is it?
It's a Constitution save.
So if you don't pass the con save, then you're taking 4d6 poison?
Yes.
But if you do pass, you're fine for 24 hours.
Right.
All right. Not an ultra high DC. You know, I can. Well, CR18 creature. All right.
I'd say 20, 21.
Well, I mean, you think. Well, what is it? Fighters and barbarians both have proficiency in Constitution. So they're going to be okay. Yeah, you could have some problems if you have like a wizard or a sorcerer or somebody getting a little bit too close.
Definitely.
But still, I mean, an 11's not terrible.
No, it isn't. So, multi-attack.
Mm.
It makes 3 chain attacks, and it uses Squirt Bile. So its chain attack has a reach of 15 feet.
Uh-huh.
It's a plus 13 to hit.
Okay.
And the target takes 2d12 plus 7 force damage.
2d12 plus 7 force damage.
Yes.
Interesting.
And it makes 3 of those attacks.
Oh.
And in
Wow.
the same action, it uses its Squirt Bile ability. The Cypriex targets one creature it can see within 120 feet of it. The target must succeed on a DC 21 dexterity saving throw or take 96 acid damage.
96.
Yes.
That's more than a fireball.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane. And a 21 DC?
Yes.
God, I'm happy I'm a rogue.
Next up on the list of actions, we have spellcasting.
Oh, of course we do.
It casts one of the following spells requiring no material components and using Charisma as the spellcasting ability. Spell save DC 21.
So let me guess. It's
At
fuck
will.
you, fuck this, and fuck that.
Kind of. It's Dispel Magic, Command, and Hold Monster.
Yeah, I was pretty much right.
Yep. And for its 1-a-day ability, can you guess what it is? Feeble Mind.
No shit. Wow. That's just fuck everything then.
That's not its last action, though.
It's not. Okay.
This one is called Warp Creature.
Oh, well, sounds promising.
The Cypriex targets up to 3 creatures it can see within 120 feet of it.
Mm-hmm.
Each target must make a DC 21 Constitution saving throw.
Good lord.
On a successful save, a creature becomes immune to the Cypriex's Warp Creature.
Okay.
On a failed save, the target is poisoned, which causes it to also gain 1 level of exhaustion. While poisoned in this way, the target must repeat the saving throw at the start of each of its turns. 3 successful saves against the poison end it, and ending the poison removes any levels of exhaustion caused by it, so you have to make 3 successes before it ends.
Okay, now what if you fail?
Once the target reaches 6 levels of exhaustion, it dies and instantly transforms into a Mane. That's a low-level demon.
Oh, so you need to make a 21 con save. 6 times.
At least 3 times.
Okay, at least 3. But if you fail up to 6 times, it turns you into a low-level
transformed
demon.
into a creature. Yep. Under the Cybriex's control.
Okay.
It can only be undone by a wish spell.
Holy crap. Yeah, that's definitely give the thing what it wants. Just walk backwards, say you're sorry, get the hell out of there.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, they hoard knowledge, so if you have secrets that it might not know, it'd probably offer you information in return. like this creature could never be like good in any way, but it could be helpful.
Yeah, I guess that's a classic deal with the devil type of thing, huh?
It would be. Only this is an aberration.
Right.
So
Just doesn't have the same ring.
I don't know.
Deal with an aberration. No, see, just
No.
doesn't work.
But their minds are like terrifying and alien, so I'd be hesitant to make a deal.
Yeah, I mean, what's the alignment again? Chaotic evil?
Neutral evil.
Neutral evil?
Wait, is this chaotic evil? It is chaotic evil.
So it can kill you for the shits and giggles of it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, no. Nope,
But
sorry.
he'd probably just turn you into something he could control.
Yeah, back on the boat. Let's go. Cast Greater Restoration on me. Let's go. Let's get the hell out of here.
We can run faster than it can fly.
Yep. I'm casting web. Let's just, slow it down a little bit. Let's get the hell out of here.
My god, it would fail against a web spell. Blast, its dexterity is a 3.
Oh, wow. So what, -4, right?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, would not like that. Well, you know what then? Hit it with enough fireballs and, Ooh. Well, you could beat it. You'd have to stand all the way
wizard.
back.
What's the wizard that can change the damage type of their spells?
Ooh,
Is that the scribe?
Oh, that's one of the new. Yeah, that I couldn't tell you. I know there's
Yeah.
a feat that gives you meta magic, and you can use meta magic to change the damage type of your spells.
Can you?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can take a feat, and it gives you 2 points of meta magic, and I think transmutation only costs 1 point of meta magic.
Wow,
And
that's pretty awesome.
you can change.
So yeah, if you
you can change a spell to any damage type.
you attack this creature with an upcast acid fireball, you could wreck it.
Oh, is it vulnerable to acid?
No, but it's not resistant to it.
Oh, okay. And
It's
again, this
resistant
is
to cold, fire, and lightning.
Thunder would be a lot of fun too. I always like thunder damage.
Thunder is just cool damage. It's like this concussive burst.
Exactly. It's literally just a bomb.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oof. Yeah, it's definitely, again, well, when you start getting, I mean, CR18, it's obviously going to be a challenging creature.
Yeah.
You got to remember, too, that the average D&D campaign doesn't go above, what is it, something like 11 or 14 or something like that.
The 13.
Is it 13? I knew it was somewhere in that area.
Yeah, that's where they usually top out. Because a lot of DMs will cap the characters at level 13 because you get an ability at level 13.
Right.
And that is like their capstone power then.
Right. So, I don't know. We like our high-powered campaigns. They're always a lot of fun.
They are. I mean, we did just play a low-power campaign in the one you ran.
And that was a lot of fun, too. I mean, I had a tremendous amount of fun DMing that campaign. I really did. And I'm very interested to see the reaction of those characters when they come into the Spelljammer world.
Right.
That's going to be very interesting. I mean, it's no secret. We've already told the group. And then, you know what we need to do? Do you still have the character sheets for the original Spelljammer characters for our other party members?
I may or may not. Did we end that in my new house or my old house?
The old house.
Oh.
Because that was the
I'll have to
original.
check.
That was the original Spelljammer campaign. The first one.
Right. Yeah.
I think we've done like 2 or 3 campaigns since then. I mean, not a big deal. We can always recreate these. I think we left off at like level 23 or something like that. So that's gonna be fun. I even told little Pooper and Arrow, I'm like, you guys are gonna have to make a decision. Do you want to go after, do you want the help of, hey, stop that, or do you want to go after my whatchamacallit, my artificer? So do you want to go to hell, or do you want to go to the Feywild? You're gonna have to make a decision.
Right.
But anyways, alrighty. Anything for our way overpowered CR18 friend?
No.
Okay.
No, nothing else.
Good lord. Oh, hey, and once a day he can cast Feeble Mind. It's no big deal.
Feeble Mind is
A terrible
Just-
spell.
devastating. Which is why when I cast it on you guys and one of you fails, I very quickly find a way to cure it.
Yeah, and yeah, a greater restoration spell is generally going to be okay. I forget what the actual spell description says, but it's a condition, honestly. And if a greater restoration spell doesn't do it, then I don't know. You're just not doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
I agree.
here's another creature. You haven't actually used these in your campaign. I'm kind of surprised.
Interesting.
It's
It's not a gelatinous cube, is it?
No, I actually was going to talk about the gelatinous cube after you were done talking about Orcus, but we ran out of time. But these little devils here, they're a CR 1/2 challenge rating. And honestly, I could see them as a higher CR level. And that is the Rust Monster.
Oh, you know what? I do love them.
They're a medium monstrosity. They're completely unaligned. They have an armor class of 14. They have 5d8 plus 5 or 27 hit points. They have a speed of 40 feet, so they can generally outrun the party.
Mhm.
A strength of 13, a dex of 12, a con of 13, an intelligence of 2, a wisdom of 13, and a charisma of 6. So they're not intelligent, they're not charismatic. However, they have a pretty decent strength, a +1 to dex and a +1 to con. They have dark vision out to 60 feet and a passive perception of 11. Some of the abilities they have is Iron Scent. The Rust Monster can pinpoint by scent the location of ferrous metals within 30 feet. And Rust Metal. Any non-magical weapon made of metal that hits the Rust Monster corrodes. After dealing damage, the weapon takes a permanent and a cumulative -1 penalty to damage rolls. If its penalty drops to -5, the weapon is destroyed. Non-magical ammunition made of metal that hits the Rust Monster is destroyed after dealing damage. Now, at a CR challenge rating of 1/2, obviously you're going to be... your party is low level. And that's devastating. You hit this, the Paladin's got this really cool sword. It's not magical, but Whack. Wait a second. Whack. That's not right. Hits this thing a couple of times. Now, 27 hit points. It's not a lot of hit points, but again, you're not giving these are going to be multiples. You're going to throw a half dozen of these at the players. They're going to come scurrying out of the treasure vault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could see these in two different ways. I can see them as kind of like the guards of a treasure vault. They open it up and they see lots of gold and silver and, wooden chests that are wrapped in gold or silver or platinum. But like oddly enough, you kind of look around and you realize, wait a minute, there's no iron weapons, there's no armor, there's no iron. These cases are not made of iron, they're made of platinum and precious metals and things of that nature, which generally you're not going to make a case out of. And then they disturb something and they just come out of the walls. And yeah, you hit them, your weapon takes damage. They have a bite attack. It's a +3 to hit. It's a 5-foot reach, and it's 1d8 plus 1 piercing. The rust monster corrodes non-magical ferrous metal object it can see within 5 feet of it. If the object isn't being worn or carried, the touch destroys a 1-foot cube. Now this is with their antenna. You kind of reach out with their antenna and touch something. They can rust a 1-foot cube of it. If the object is being worn or carried, it makes a DC 11 dexterity saving throw to avoid the rust monster's touch. If the object is touched, either metal armor or a metal shield, it takes a permanent and a cumulative -1 penalty to its AC. If the armor is reduced to AC of 10 or a shield to 0, it's destroyed.
Oh, destroyed?
Yeah. Yeah, so you have that plate metal that the paladin's wearing. He's a big shiny thing covered in nice tasty metal. So yeah.
Wow.
He's gonna have a few. Now, I would also use these creatures if I were to use them as, yes, you've just destroyed all of the party's equipment. However, now they're locked in a treasure room with treasure boxes, so they're going to get new gear anyways, and hopefully at this point it's going to be magical. Like, the paladin sees a set of plate armor at the head of the room that the rest monsters haven't eaten, because they don't affect magical equipment. It's only anything that's non-magical. So this is a great opportunity to give them that +1 or +2, plate armor.
Right.
To give them that +2 or +1 shield. That type of stuff. So you can have a really psychologically damaging encounter. And, like, what am I going to do? Everything I own is destroyed. These things ate everything. Hopefully they get the idea that, we can beat these things with a wooden club, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they find something else in there and use it as an improvised weapon. But it allows you to also then give them new gear. I don't know, just kind of my thought when I saw these. These are, again, this is one of your classic D&D monsters, the Rust Monster. And they're actually a medium creature, which I always thought of them as like almost like small, like not gerbil, but guinea pig size.
Okay.
I didn't realize they're actually a medium creature. That just makes it all the more terrifying. But I'd love to scale these down like baby rust monsters. Like maybe give them like 10 hit points each. You know what I mean? Make them like a
Yeah.
small creature. And you have like maybe like a, a dozen or 2 dozen of them like just crawl out from the walls somewhere. But again, just one of those that they caught my eye, and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, well, go ahead. Let's. What overpowered monstrosity do you have for us now?
Give me a minute, because I was going through the book here.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want, I could do another creature real quick.
Yeah, go for it, and I'll find one in the meantime.
No worries. All right, so there's another one. I kind of. I don't know if I should really do this one or not, because Mr. Faust might actually hang up on me if if I do this. But
Which one were you thinking?
the giant octopus.
Why don't you tell them the story?
Okay, so I love my druids. I love my Circle of the Moon druids. Their shape-shifting ability is absolutely amazing. A giant octopus is a challenge rating 1, CR1 creature. And as far as CR1 creatures, they do a really nice job with hit points. They have 52 hit points. They have an 11 armor class. They have a swim speed of 60 feet. And they do it pretty decent. I mean, their tentacle attack is 2d6 plus 3 bludgeoning. It's a plus 5 to hit with a 15-foot reach. It's not a bad creature. It really isn't. However, when you're in the middle of a forest and you're fighting, I forget what we were fighting, they don't really fit into the campaign, apparently. So now they can hold their breath for 1 hour out of water. I just want to say
I was surprised by that.
They also have an ink cloud ability, which recharges after a short or long rest. It's a 20-foot radius cloud that ink extends all around the octopus if it's underwater. The area is heavily obscured for 1 minute, although significant current can disperse the ink. And then you can use a dash action as a bonus action. But yeah, they have a 17 for strength, a 13 for dex, a 13 for con, a 4 for intelligent, 10 for wisdom, and 4 for charisma. 10 foot on land, 60 foot swimming. They actually have a perception of +4 and a stealth of +5. But like, yeah, we would be in all these different combats, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna turn into a giant octopus. And it's like, Jesus Christ, we're in the middle of a dungeon underneath a castle. Like, why in the hell are you turning into a giant octopus? And then the one time you put us into a fight with a water dragon. And
That doesn't sound like me.
And I finally got to be thrown. Now, one thing that kind of like makes me go, huh? Is they don't have an advantage on grappling. You would think with 8 appendages, they would give them advantage on grappling.
Yeah, I would rule that they would have advantage on that. There's no good reason that they shouldn't.
Plus, they have suckers. They literally have suction cups. Like, come on. What are you doing, wizards? But no, it's a great little creature. If you have a water encounter or something like that, and you want a little baby kraken, these guys are great. They're not, tough to beat. 52 hit points, not a lot of hit points. Armor class 11. Nice something just to throw into like a small lake or I guess, well, no, really, I was about to say a small stream or a river or something, but really I think they'd be more suited to a standing body of water. You know, you come across a lake and you notice that in the lake there are spots of murky, inky black water. You know, what are you going to do? You going to swim across? You going to, you know, try to walk around? What's the plan here? What are you going to do? And you can just have one of these in the water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with a 15-foot reach, they can even come up underneath the boat and snatch somebody out of the... Oh, actually, right there, if I actually read their tentacle attack, it's a 15 to hit. If the target is a creature, it's grappled. Escape of DC 16. Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained, and the octopus can't use that tentacle on another target. Oh, can't use its tentacles on another target. So, but yeah, I mean, you can just pull people out of the boat, beat them up in the water.
Yep.
And if they don't have a, they don't have a swim.
50 feet in the air.
What's that?
I said fall on them from 50 feet in the air.
All right, so yeah. So climbed up. Yep. Climbed up, got into the ceiling, fell down on top of the witch who had two other people restrained, used my last wild shape to turn into a giant toad, and swallowed the witch.
I mean, it was ingenious.
It was one of the better uses of wild shape. That's for certain.
I've never seen anyone use it that way.
Well,
The last time someone dropped from a ceiling, we were playing Spelljammer. No. Yes, we were playing Spelljammer, and Billy decided to drop onto the monster that was in lava.
Curse of Strahd the first time he climbed up onto the back of the creature. Oh no, you're right, that was Spelljammer.
Yep.
Yeah, he jumped onto the back of the... Yeah. Yeah, what the hell was that thing? It was a,
Oh, I forget.
He did that to the Chimera as well, I believe, didn't he?
Oh, God, he did.
That was one of his things. He would run up, he would use his monk ability to run up onto the, and just, yeah. Because a monk can run on pretty much any surface. So
Yep.
you'd use a key point to literally run up the enemy and get onto their back and try to grapple them. And the rest of us
Exactly.
are like, hey, we're trying to cast area effects here. Go ahead and do it. Oh, okay, here's a lightning bolt.
I
Oh,
know,
yeah.
that's just how he played his characters.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine. You know, unlike Arrow, who every time she uses burning hands has to make sure at least one person, one part of the party is standing in the way.
I know. Her and fire, dude. Her and fire.
Hey, I'd rather have her play with fire in D&D than in real life.
Touche. Yeah, that's good.
You know, I kill hookers in GTA 5, so I don't do it in real life, okay?
Wow.
Alrighty. Well, that's pretty much it for the giant octopus. Again, a little CR1 creature. Just something to throw at the party. Have a little bit of fun in some water. You know, again, not meant to be a deadly interaction unless you want to use multiples of them, which is fine. I mean, again, the more you throw at somebody, the better the chance you have. So, what else do you got for us there, Mr. Faust?
Um, this is actually a humanoid,
Oh, okay.
but I think it would make a really great cultist.
Ooh.
It's the Warlock of the Great Old One.
Okay.
Warlocks of the Great Old One gain their powers through magical pacts forged with eldritch entities from strange and distant realms of existence. Some of these warlocks associate with cultists devoted to these entities, as well as aberrations that share their goals. So I saw this because in the multiversal book they have every class demonstrated,
Mm-hmm.
like 3 different types of monks and so on and so forth. But this is a CR6 creature that very soon would work out very well as a cultist.
Okay.
And they have some pretty unique abilities too. Their armor class is 13. They have 91 hit points, and their speed is 30 feet. Their stats are Strength of 9, Dex of 16, Con of 15, Intelligence of 12, Wisdom of 12, and Charisma of 18.
Okay.
Their saving throws are Wisdom and Charisma, and their skills are Arcana and History.
Hmm.
And they are resistant to psychic damage.
Oh.
So what I'm going to get to first is their extra ability, not their action or bonus action or reaction, but the ability that's always active. It's called Whispering Aura. At the start of each of the Warlock's turns, each creature of its choice within 10 feet of it must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or take 3d6 psychic damage, provided the Warlock isn't incapacitated. I think it's pretty cool that Wizards are allowing monstrous races or villains to have auras now. Because before that, Paladins were the only creature that was represented with an aura. And I just think it'd be cool if more creatures had one.
Yeah, there's quite a few out there that would definitely make sense.
So for their actions, they have multi-attack. They make 2 dagger attacks. It's a +6 to hit. Range of 20 feet. 1 target, and it's 1d4 plus 3 piercing damage plus 3d6 psychic damage. So the dagger itself isn't doing much, but the psychic damage would add up.
Definitely. What's the CR of this creature? Or this humanoid?
It's a 6.
Okay, so we're not in the massively overpowered range.
No. No, this is, again, one that I saw as kind of a cultist or a cultist leader. Next up, we have Howling Void. The Warlock opens a momentary extraplanar rift within 60 feet of it. The rift is a scream-filled 20-foot cube. Each creature in that area must make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, a creature then takes 2d8 psychic damage and is frightened of the Warlock until the start of the Warlock's next turn. So not bad. 20-foot cube's pretty sizable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anything being afraid is a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. Going back to action economy. And for spellcasting, they have a DC of 15. and they can cast these at will.
Oh.
Detect magic, guidance, levitate, mage armor, mage hand, minor illusion, prestidigitation, and speak with dead.
Okay. Mage armor,
And
give it an
once-
extra 3 hit points, or an extra 3 AC.
Guidance for that 1d4 bonus to saving throws and skill checks.
Yep.
And speak with dead is just fun.
Yeah. Definitely.
And once per day each, they can cast True Seeing, Detect Thoughts, and Arcane Gate.
Okay. Huh. Well, True Seeing's nice. I forget what Arcane Gate does.
So do I, actually.
Well, let's take a look. We have the wealth of all human knowledge right in front of us. There we go. Arcane Gate, 5th edition. Normally it's a 6th level conjuration. Casting time 1 action, range of 500 feet, duration concentration of 10 minutes. You create linked teleportation portals that remain open for the duration. Choose 2 points on the ground that you can see, 1 point within 10 feet of you and 1 point within 500 feet of you. A circular portal 10 feet in diameter opens over each point. The portal would open in the space occupied by a creature. The spell fails and the casting is lost. The portals are 2-dimensional glowing rings filled with mist hovering inches from the ground and perpendicular to the points you choose. A ring is visible only from one side, your choice, which is the side that functions as a portal. Any creature or object entering the portal exits from the other portal as if the two were adjacent to each other, passing through a portal from... Oh, it's basically just bringing the game Portal into D&D.
Yeah, they used this in the D&D movie.
Yes. Yes, with the hither nither staff.
Yes.
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, you know what? An artificer would have a lot of fun with this.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you're right. I completely forgot about that in the D&D movie. Huh. Ooh. Alrighty. Anything else for our warlocky friend?
Unfortunately not.
Okay. Well, it's my turn to talk about a little bit of a higher challenge rating creature. This is one we recently used in our last campaign. The adult blue Dracolich. So, if you're unfamiliar, there's a creature in D&D called a Lich. It's generally a wizard who wants to become immortal. They go through a very terrible ritual, which requires making a very specific potion, poison, which is also made of very horrendous acts. Like you have to kill a newborn, like stuff of that nature. And liches have what's called a phylactery. So they use the phylactery to collect souls, and then they use those souls to feed the phylactery, which gain them basically immortality. So you kill a lich, you roll, I think it's a d10 or a d12, and that's how long it takes them to come back from the dead. Um, but dragons can also take on this the lichdom, or whatever you want to call it. Uh, so obviously, it's a huge undead. Now, just like dragons, they're lawful. It's lawful evil. They have an armor class of 19. They have 225 hit points, or 18d12 plus 108. They have a 40 feet burrow speed. Or, I'm sorry, a 40 foot walking, 30 foot burrow speed, and a flight of 80 feet. They have a 25 for strength, which gives them a plus 7. A 0 to dex, so that's it's a 10 to dex, so a plus 0. A 23, so a plus 6 to constitution. A 16, which is a plus 3 for initiative or intelligence. And a 15, which is a plus 2 for wisdom. And a charisma of 19, which gives them a plus 4. They have a plus 6 to dexterity for saving throws. A plus 12 for constitution. A plus 8 for wisdom, and a plus 10 for charisma. That's their saving throws. They have a perception of 14 and a stealth of plus 6. They are resistant to necrotic damage, and they're immune to lightning and poison. They cannot be charmed, they cannot be exhausted, they cannot be frightened, they cannot be paralyzed, and obviously they can't be poisoned.
Right.
Blind sight is 60 feet, dark vision out to 120, and a passive perception of 24. They do know common and draconic. They have a challenge rating 17. So again, I was, we were, what were you guys? You were level 12? It's like 11 or 12 when you took on one of these guys. And you nearly beat it, too. You had it down. I mean, the other thing, too, is you fought 4 other creatures along with it. And you had this guy down to under 100 hit points. Like, legitimately.
I know, and these weren't overpowered characters in any which way.
No, you did a fantastic job on absolutely... Now, he didn't really attack. He was letting his minions attack. He was kind of using his lightning breath here and there, but he wasn't coming in for like the bite or claw or tail. He did, I think, frightful presence once, which caused somebody to take off. But anyways,
yeah, I forget who that was.
They have a multi-attack. The Dracolich can use its frightful presence and then makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its claws. Its bite is a plus 12 to hit, a 10-foot reach, and does 2d10 plus 7 piercing damage. And another d10 of lightning damage. Its claws do a plus 12 to hit, 5-foot reach, 2d6 plus 7 slashing. And it has a tail attack, which is a plus 12 to hit, 15-foot reach, and 2d8 plus 7 bludgeoning. And then the frightful presence, not the flightful pleasance, frightful presence. Each creature of the Dragolich's choice that's within 120 feet of the Dracolich and aware of it must succeed on a DC 18 wisdom saving throw or become frightened for 1 minute. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Okay, so that's fair. Ending the effect on itself is a success. A creature's saving throw is successful or the effect ends. The creature is immune to the Dracolich's frightful presence for the next 24 hours. It has a lightning breath. It recharges on a 5 or a 6. So again, you roll your d6. And if you roll a 5 or 6, it gets its breath weapon back. Dracolich exhales lightning in a 90-foot line that is 5 feet wide. Each creature in that line must make a DC 20 dexterity saving throw or take 12d10 lightning damage. And it's still half as much on a success. And he has legendary actions.
You actually got me with the lightning breath.
Yeah. You were killing it.
Because I was flying in the air.
You were killing its jesters. Of course he tried to go after you.
And he got me.
Mm-hmm. Very severely underestimated the party, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But wasn't used to fighting characters quite your power levels. So, the Dracolich can take 3 legendary actions. Choosing from the options below, 1 legendary action can be used at a time and only at the end of another creature's turn. The Dracolich regains spent legendary actions at the start of its turn. Detect. The Dracolich makes a Wisdom Perception check. Tail attack. The Dracolich makes a tail attack. Wing attack. This is fun. This costs 2 actions. The Dracolich beats its tethered wings. Each creature within 10 feet of the Dracolich must succeed on a DC 21 Dex saving throw, or take 2d6 plus 7 bludgeoning damage, and be knocked prone. After beating its wings this way, the Dracolich can fly up to half its flying speed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not too shabby of a creature. They are a lot of fun to fight. Just because they have the flying speed, they have that, lightning breath, which is a ranged attack. 90 feet. They get some pretty decent saving throws and skills. Stealth of +6 and perception of 14. So they could definitely sneak around if you really need them to. They have legendary resistance. So if they fail a saving throw, they can just choose to succeed instead. Up to 3 times per day. Magic resistance. Advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. But yeah, no, you guys really, you took out 2 of the Jester Ghouls and 2 Displacer Beasts along with this guy. And
that was way out of our level range.
But you did it.
I know.
And he got out of there. He was legitimately you know what? Another 2 rounds. He was going to be dead. With the amount of damage you guys were dealing. And that's why he ran away.
That was clever with the burrow speed.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm out of here. I can't fly because you're just going to hit me with attacks. The only other thing to do is go underground. Plus, he saw the zombie clots coming up from the town because you guys lit a giant bonfire saying, hey, we're over here. Yeah, when you lit the circus tent on fire.
Right.
Didn't see that one coming. I honestly did not see that coming. That must have smelled really good. What's that?
Nothing, I just laughed.
Yeah, the circus tent that was, patchwork of human flesh and tethered rags and... Oh boy. Alrighty, well that's a Dracolich. These things are just absolutely great. Imagine a giant bone dragon. That's kind of what they look like. Yeah. Now, honestly, you could swap a lot of this out really with any color dragon. It doesn't necessarily have to be blue, and you're just changing the damage types to match that dragon. You could have a red dragon Dracolich, and you're just going to swap out the lightning damage with fire.
Right.
It's not too hard to reflavor this. So. Ooh, it is 8:24. I just realized what time it is. Man, it went quick tonight. It really did.
It did.
And I have to apologize, everybody who's watched to this point. Of just watching the shop in Phasmo. I did record 2 hours of Phasmo last night, and that's when my computer crashed and I lost it. And I didn't have time to re-record it with trying to get everything else situated with the computer. In fact, I'm very surprised that we even lasted this long on the live stream. But anyways, do you have any party? Do you have time for another one, or do you? I guess we just do parting words and go from there.
Yeah, we can do that.
Alrighty. Any last parting words for us, Mr. Faust?
The usual, really. If you're interested in playing, if you have any questions or comments, absolutely ask us. We'd love to devote a session just answering questions for you guys.
I mean, this has been a lot of fun for me, and I know probably for you as well, talking about creatures of D&D. Hopefully you can hear the passion in our voices when we're talking about these things. And this was given to us by Siberian Tiger. So this was a fan of viewer suggestion. So please keep them coming. Comment on this video. Comment on any of my videos, past, present, or future, and it could become a video or it could become a live stream. But anyways, thank you, Mr. Faust, for joining us. I had a lot of fun tonight. I'm very much looking forward to this Friday, playing some more Spelljammer. And I gotta ask the rest of the group if they'd be okay with recording shorts and things of that nature. But can't guarantee anything until I actually talk to them. So I don't want to put anybody online who doesn't want to be. You know what I mean?
Oh, our group, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could discuss it this Friday.
Yeah. So, alrighty, folks. Well, hey, thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening, Mr. Faust.
Oh, you as well.
And I'm sure we will talk soon.
Yep, definitely.
Alrighty, guys. Well, that was Talking D&D with Mr. Faust. We talked about, again, creatures. This has been a tremendous amount of fun. I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing next week. Again, put the comments in the videos. Chances are we'll actually take it and talk about your comment. But I'll keep you posted. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please go ahead and do so now. If you already have, then awesome. Thank you so much. I really do cherish and appreciate each and every one of you. And the best way to help me grow this channel is tell your neighbors, tell your friends, and shout it from the rooftops. Like, comment, and subscribe to Blast338. Have a great time, and we'll see you Thursday. Peace.